Are you okay? What happened? What's wrong? Amonisa, you okay? I'm not the one who requires your aid. You must go after the Great Calamity. Whoa, whoa. You sure you're okay?
Hey.
Can you try to walk me through what happened? I witnessed the Great Calamity on a passerby, but when I warned him, he lashed out at me. He told me I was annoyingly persistent. Persistent? Why would he say that? Because I foresaw his future about a month ago as well. A calamity of fire. And when I saw him again earlier, I could help but notice how alarmingly large the aura of his calamity had become. A calamity's aura can change size? I've never seen anything like it, to be frank, so I warned him again. And that's when he attacked you, huh? From his perspective, you probably seemed like a scammer or something. Regardless, a calamity of that magnitude, I cannot even imagine the havoc it may wreak.
Fate.
And as a calamity of fire, it could have horrifying consequences. In other words, she needs me to look into this guy. Should I accept? Yes, help the poor girl out. Let me guess, you want me to tail him and prevent the calamity?
Very well.
Yes. I require your services now more than ever. Will your usual 50k yen suffice? Yeah, that's fine. Anything you can tell me to help identify the guy? He was a plump man with short black hair. He was wearing an embroidered stadium jacket and a large backpack. I know that his name is Yama-san. After he hit me, he headed towards Sugar Street. Alright, I will look for him. I don't really have time for him. I need to figure out what's going on with that drug, but it's okay. Okay, let's figure out what's going on with the drug. Sorry. Please, I just beat you to a pulp. Can you just once let me be? Can you walk? Can you run a bit faster? Not look back, but run? Oh wait, that's where I have to go. Can I go in here? Oh, I can go in here. Oh, I need to go home. My bad, I need to go home. Okay, let me get a medical kit. Yes. I just needed to get home.
Yo.
Oh, hi.
Welcome back.
There's
Hey
a lot
there,
of traffic here.
The gang's all here, huh?
How did things go with Hattori-san? Did you learn anything useful?
Yeah, I guess.
Are we gonna tell him? Meow.
Wait, are you saying there isn't actually anything up with 89?
That's what Hattori said, yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing about Kido not really being involved, though. It's possible Shono's hiding the truth from even him.
Maybe. But first, one term in particular stuck with me from my chat with Hattori-san.
Which is?
Human experimentation.
Go on.
Apparently, 89 is just about ready to be tested on real human subjects.
Well, that's gross. Side effects include bloating, blindness, and death, right?
Knock it off.
Sorry. What's bothering you about that, Yagami-san?
Well, it's just... I've just been thinking... What if all these murders were secretly experimental trials for 89?
I was thinking the same!
You're serious?
If Shono's the one behind all this...
What? You think this guy Shono went out, hired an assassin, and started killing people?
Look at him, I can see
Guess
that.
it's a bit of a stretch, huh?
Even if these people were test cases, why would Shono have to murder them?
Because
This
it
is a
fucked
dementia
up.
drug, not some kind of chemical weapon.
No, but what if it really did have some kind of crazy side effects, though? Like, they didn't want to kill the people, but they ended up dying anyways.
It was perfectly
It is
fine when
killing
I tested it on
proteins.
mice,
What
though.
if it's killing the
If it
wrong
ended up killing
proteins?
someone, then... Wait a sec.
Yeah, wait a sec is right. We're on the same page here.
What if 89 was completely harmless to mice, but lethal when introduced into the human body?
If that was the case, they'd need to perform a ton of experiments to make sure it was fixed. Which is why they killed all those Curie guys.
If Shono needed to silence those Yakuza, he might have resorted to using the mole.
Back it up. If they're testing a drug, wouldn't they want to use it on an actual patient? I mean, it's not like those Kyorei guys all had Alzheimer's or anything.
That's true.
Actually, it says here that they test new drugs on healthy humans as well. They're the control group to make sure the drug is safe.
Yeah, eventually. It wouldn't make any damn sense for him to start on anyone but real patients, though.
But
Just give it a rest.
The old man.
Try taking this seriously for once.
Are we all collectively forgetting
are
about the
taking
old
this
man who got
seriously.
murdered
Says
and
the
nobody
dumbass
knows who did
kid
it?
who keeps spouting tinfoil hat shit about goddamn human experiments.
The only dumbass here is the guy who can't consider all the possible options.
Oh, is that right? Next you're gonna tell me they experimented on old man Waku too. Fucking idiots.
Thank you! Someone said it!
That incident 3 years ago at the ADDC. The guy who died, Wakasan. Didn't he have Alzheimer's?
I said it from a moment we
think
knew
you're
that
onto
he
something.
died.
Huh?
That he got experimented on.
think about it, Kaito-san.
It makes so much
Waku-san was an
sense.
Alzheimer's patient at the center. We know for a fact that Okubo didn't kill him, but they never tracked the real murderer down.
What if the motivation for that murder was a human experiment for 89?
Alright, cool your fucking jets. That happened 3 years ago. AD9 didn't even exist back then.
Are we sure it
True,
didn't?
It was only announced last year. But all the research that went into that paper would have reached way further back.
Huh?
Exactly that.
Wait, are we really onto something?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's worth looking into at the very least.
I've been saying this from the very beginning.
I have a few more thoughts about this whole human experimentation theory. Mind if we continue?
Yes, please.
Sure, let's do it.
I don't know why I had to get up. Was the game like, this cutscene is too long? Let's give the player the option
Okay,
to stop
so-
here.
Let's say Shono did experiment on Waku-san. Why would he do that?
To see
They
if
normally
his drug
do
works.
a lot more to ensure a drug is safe before it enters clinical trials. What was his motive for testing it then?
Because he's crazy, I guess. Let me think. Why would Shono have broken protocol and experimented on Waki?
Maybe he wanted to try his groundbreaking new drug on a real live human as soon as possible. If it worked, he'd have the cure. And he'd have it without dealing with all the red tape these things go through. It would have saved him years.
That's possible. I guess Shono was surrounded by dementia patients. One little test wouldn't be a big deal, and if it succeeded, his drug would save the world. If it meant curing Alzheimer's sooner, he might have been okay accepting the risk.
But instead of doing what it was meant to do, 89 had a horrible side effect. Death.
I mean, I don't know if I would
The
call
more I
that a
think
side
about it,
effect, though.
The more it feels like this is how it all went down.
It's starting to make sense.
But now, even though he knows the risks, he's still experimenting and using the mole to do it. I know this is all just a theory, but the pieces all seem to fit together.
Absolutely.
Going down that path, Yagami-san, that means Okubo really was innocent, yeah? But he murdered his girlfriend right after.
I don't think
I
he
mean-
did.
That's why he's on death row.
Quit it, Sugiura. We'll get to that later.
I don't think he did
Yeah.
that. I still don't think so. Why am I getting kicked out of this conversation all the time? Like,
So,
please,
to summarize
just
our
let
theory
this
so far,
go through.
it all started 3 years ago when Shono accidentally killed a patient during an AD9 test.
Accidentally.
But those tests are still
Sure.
ongoing. That's why Hamura had all those Kyorei guys killed.
But wait, how would a guy like Shono get wrapped up with Yakuza and assassins? Your run-of-the-mill researcher wouldn't have the cash or connections for that shit.
But what if someone close to him did?
Someone Shono knows who's got Yakuza ties? The hell could that be?
Mr. Sarcasm. Yeah, the minister, the health minister has some ties. The other one is chairman of the Kachihira group. I don't know who the Kachihira group is anymore. And it wasn't the director, it was the health minister.
The Minister of Health,
Not?
Naoki Sakazumi.
You think an active cabinet member is out hooking Shono up with Yakuza?
But
Seriously?
Didn't he buy the
I
land?
suppose the minister would have enough power. But I'm not sure he has the motive. Especially not for such a risky move.
Who else do we have then?
Someone who could
Wait,
get
I'm
Hamura and
confused.
Shono in touch.
I'm bad with the names, but didn't we have like the old man where we were in that weird cabinet thingy with the dancing yakuza? Didn't he have ties with the health minister who bought the land of the ADDC of that health thingy? Am I wrong? Was that a different plot? Then it's I don't know who the Kajihira group is.
Shigeru Kajihira, chairman of the Kajihira
Yeah, that
group.
dude. But
I'm
he is
not so sure
Yakuza
about
though,
that,
isn't he?
Yagami-san.
Huh?
Think about it. The murdered Kyorei Yakuza are Kajihira's men. Besides, there's no evidence of any connection between him and Shono.
I guess you have a point there.
I'm so confused.
Well, we can rule Kajihira out.
How does Kido have any contact with Yakuza?
Ryusuke Kido, director of the ADDC.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I don't.
Kido would have access to ADDC funding. There's even been talk of him having ties to the Yakuza somehow, right? I think you've cracked it, Yagami-san. It had to be Kido.
I don't know if that's really true.
Why?
Yeah, but the
Think back
question
to the
was who has
89
ties
press
to the
conference.
Yakuza?
You remember the look on Kido's face? He was so proud, innocent even. But if he knew about all this human experiment shit, no way he'd look like that.
Kid's got a point.
Then maybe he was only told about the experiments after the conference took place. That would still make sense, right? First, Shono
Yeah, the
gets
thing is, I didn't
Kido
even
to
know who the
sign off on
second guy was
89
anymore, and he
paper
was a Yakuza
publicly
dude.
gives him all the credit. Thrilled about the possibilities, Kido proudly presents the research at that press conference. There's no turning back after that, even if he found out about the experiments. That's probably how Shono got Kido on his side. He then used Kido's funding and connections to bring in Hamura and the Mole. It feels like all the pieces are falling into place.
Mm-hmm. That means Kido's not actually the one in charge.
No, of course he's
Right.
not.
Shono is behind everything.
Let's say you're right. When did Shono start using this guy? When was the mole's first murder?
First time Shono actually used an assassin would have to be 6 months ago when Hashiki died, when he started killing the Kyorei Yakuza. 3 years ago when Waku died.
Shono murdered a patient, Waku-san, 3 years ago. He and the mole may have started working together then.
But that was probably an accident, right?
Yeah,
He
but
didn't
I
mean
think
for
he
Waku-san
killed the
to die.
girlfriend after that.
In other words, he wouldn't need the Mole.
All right.
Well,
Okay, I misunderstand these. Because I thought that 3 years ago when Waku died was when he framed Okicha, the dude. The dude who's on death row. Because I think they actually hired an assassin to kill the girlfriend.
When those Kyorei guys started getting their eyes gouged out, that would make the most sense.
well, that's pretty damn recent.
What about Hashiki's death then?
Oh, was Hashiki's death before that?
Shono has an alibi for the night Hashiki was beat to death. If he didn't hire somebody to do it, maybe it really was just a random passerby.
No, that doesn't fit Hashiki, so...
The man in... Oh, that must have been...
Yeah. Only the best of the best assassins would have the skill to
Oh,
do
I
what
thought
they
I
did
have
to
to.
Hashiki.
Can't argue with that.
Sorry, I thought I have
Who
to.
knows how close Hashiki was
Got
to
that one
finding out
again.
about the human experimentation before he died.
Yeah, and if he had, that would have been the end of the line for Shono.
I thought the
Seems like a
Yakuza
plausible
deaths are
motive
like
to me.
longer than the Hashiki one.
So what, everything just makes sense? I don't know.
Looks like Sugiura still isn't totally on board. I don't know what's the deal with Sugiura.
If you have something to say it.
I mean,
What information do you have?
this is still just a theory, right? It all sounds almost too convenient.
What do you mean?
If Shono killed Waku-san at the ADDC 3 years ago, then Okubo, the primary suspect in the case, would be totally in the clear.
Yep. Already proved that in court, remember?
But Okubo, he killed
I
his
don't think
girlfriend
he
right
did
after.
that.
He stabbed her over and over. Even set the place on fire. Reeked of booze, too. Even though he was supposed to be dry. Defend him all you want. The guy's a murderer. That's why the whole thing was such a big deal. Everyone realized the court made a mistake. It took the death of an innocent girl for them to realize that Okubo probably did it after all. Yet here you are, claiming the court got it right.
Is that
Claiming
his
Okubo's
sister or
innocent.
something?
But you just don't want to feel responsible for Emi Terasawa's death. That's it.
Do we know what
isn't
his
it?
last name
Enough,
is?
Sugiura. You're way out of line, and you don't know shit.
Look, I know I get swept up in my emotions pretty easily sometimes. All the same, I'm trying to be fair here.
Are you?
So if we want to treat Yagami-san's theory like it's the truth, then we'll have to figure out whether or not Okubo is innocent. If he
I don't
actually
think he
killed
neither
Rex.
killed Waku-san nor
How
did he kill
suggest
his
you would do
girlfriend.
that?
It's simple. We just go to Okubo and ask if he did it.
You want
What?
to talk to him face to face? A meeting with a death row inmate isn't that easy.
A lawyer like you should have no problem setting that up, right?
Senpai Okubo is still in jail. I could meet him, but...
He can't stand me, though. From day one, Okubo insisted he was innocent, that he didn't kill Emi. But I abandoned him. Told him he'd be better off just giving up.
Fine. But that's a pretty weak excuse for not going to talk to him now. If you really want to pursue this case, you don't have a choice, Yagami-san.
Well,
Hoshino-kun,
Yes?
let's go talk to Okubo. Think you can arrange that for me?
That's why I chose the 3 years
can
ago
try.
thing earlier.
Let me get in touch with the prison.
Thanks.
But they weren't
I'll be
thinking
again
that
if
far
you want
ahead
to
yet,
find
it
me.
was just me.
Looking
It was
over
just
the old
me who was
case
thinking so
files.
far ahead.
All right.
Okay. You want any healing? Let's listen to some music real quick. The way Sugiura is sitting there like, come home, waifu. Soon in one place, please.
Guess I was pretty hard.
Okay, I can only do one thing. Head to Gandalf office. Okay, let's go to Gandalf office. Sorry, ma'am. I tell you, if my hunch was correct from like the start, from the moment we started this game, I'm a genius. I should play more of these type of games. Because putting one and one together
Wise
is
choice.
apparently my stronghold. Names, not so much. I'm mostly confusing names. But that's okay. I need to have some weakness. If I were like putting one and one together way too good. Okay, let's get over here. Can you stop following me? I'm not here, please go away. Please turn around, I'm not here, you can't see me. I am invisible. Oh, okay, I'm not invisible. My goodness. Are you happy? Good. Hi, Ganda.
oh, Yagami. You need something?
Mind if I look over a case file? The ADDC one from 3 years ago. I'm seeing Okubo soon.
Huh? What do you mean you're seeing Okubo?
Hold on. I'll go pull the documents up.
Thanks, Sari-san.
How's it going, Yagami-san?
Oh, not bad. What do you have there?
The files for Emi Terasawa's case. I thought they might be useful too.
Well, I...
Yagami-san, I think you should look them over if you're going to talk to Okubo. If you really don't need them, just leave them here. I'll put everything back later.
Can I look at them? Why did I have to stand up for that? Please. Come on. Was that necessary?
Emi Terasawa, 26 years old at time of death. December 2nd, 2015, about 11 p.m. Her body is found on the second floor of a burnt-out apartment building. 15 stab wounds to the chest, presumably inflicted while she was still alive. Cause of death? Blood loss.
Wait, the 15 stabs
No
didn't
ash in
kill
her
her,
lungs,
but like
she didn't
only the
inhale
blood
any
loss?
smoke. Emi died before the fire started.
Good job,
Shinpei
Andy.
Okubo, the victim's
Yay.
boyfriend and roommate, was found at the scene and arrested. Murder weapon is thought to be a kitchen knife. It was covered in Okubo's prints.
I mean, it was a kitchen knife.
Okubo was wasted out of his mind when firefighters arrived at the apartment.
Okubo-san is not a violent person. And he hasn't even had a drink in over 6 years. Not a single drop since the incident.
But Okubo claims he doesn't remember ever drinking. That he woke up surrounded by flames.
That's what
He's
I
pleaded
thought.
innocence from day one.
He's been
Yagami.
framed.
Do you really have to do this? Go see Okubo, I mean.
Yeah, looks like I do.
But why?
I need to know if he was really innocent. If he killed Waku-san 3 years ago. I'm going to find the truth, Kenta-sensei.
What? In just one little prison chat?
Well, either way, I never felt like I closed the book on this. I should have done this years ago. I
Are you
mean,
dreaming, baby?
yeah, I defended
Aw.
him in court. But we didn't have anything definitive to prove his innocence. The only thing the ruling said was that they couldn't conclusively prove his guilt. Meaning for the public at large, he as good as did it. Okubo got laid off from his job and had his personal details smeared all over the internet.
Yeah.
The guy barely even went outside. Couldn't sleep at night without his pills. But I didn't ask him about any of that. Didn't really care either. Until one day, Okubo gave up his years of sobriety, started drinking, and stabbed his girlfriend to death.
And what? You think that's your fault?
Why did Shinpei Okubo kill Emi Terasawa if it's anyone's fault?
I helped set a murderer loose on the world. In other words, Emi died because of me.
But that's bullshit.
I'm not gonna let you do this to yourself. Do you remember your dad's last case? Must have been almost 20 years ago. Do you, Yagami?
Yeah. No way I could forget.
The defendant in that case raped and murdered a 15-year-old girl. At least that's what they said he did. Everyone in the damn country thought that guy deserved to get executed. No thoughts of innocence, except from your dad. You know how it all went down after that. He gave the prosecution what for. Your dad never compromised his ideals, no matter what. He said a lawyer's job isn't discovering the truth, or even knowing it. It's proving the prosecution doesn't have enough evidence to convict. Do you understand? That's how he saw the defense's role. It takes some real guts to say that. That's why you looked up to him. And you would have never become an attorney without his influence.
In the beginning, sure I did. But you know, a lot happened afterward, with my dad, and with me too.
Yeah.
The It's possible the defendant actually was guilty. Raped the girl, killed her in cold blood. He disappeared almost immediately after the trial. So, all of the hatred, all of the anger people felt was thrown onto my dad. Not long after, he and my mom were killed by the victim's father.
Even so, I don't think your old man did anything wrong. Our job's showing that the prosecution doesn't have enough evidence, not finding the truth. And when you defended Okubo the first time around, that's exactly what you did. Listen to me, Yagami. You didn't do anything wrong.
Sure, I get what you're saying. But a girl burned to death because I was good at my job. Ever think about how that feels?
What?
It's easy to sit back and tell me I did nothing wrong, but put yourself in my shoes. Could you say you did the right thing?
That's enough! How long are you gonna let this dominate your life?
For as long as I live. Yagami speaking.
Hey, it's Hoshino. I've arranged our chat with Okubo. Meet me at the taxi stand on West Shichifuku Street. I'm on my way there now.
Got it. Thanks. I appreciate the concern.
I've said all I wanted to say. It's fine. I half knew you weren't gonna listen anyway.
Genda-sensei.
Hmm?
You and I both saw what happens when you don't pursue the truth. I can't let that go. I won't.
The thing is, I think that's a wrong mindset to being a defendant and not caring for the truth, because I personally at least couldn't do that. Like, if I'd known that the person I'm defending actively raped a 15-year-old child and killed it afterwards, I wouldn't try and bail that dude out. Not at all. I don't personally think that would be actively my job to do. Lessen his sentence eventually, yes. Bail him out of something he actively did. Questionable. Hi there.
Long time no see. Yagami-sensei.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I apologize. I've been alone all this time. Talking is...
Don't worry. We're not in a rush here.
You look so different.
Would be.
Yeah. I haven't been back in the courtroom since the last day of our case.
Meaning you're not a lawyer?
Not quite. I'm a detective. In Kamurocho. Pays the bills, you know.
And that's all my fault?
Hey. Sorry. This isn't what I came here to talk about today. 3 years ago, at the ADDC. Did you actually murder Waku-san or not?
What? Yagami, I don't understand. You know I'm innocent. I didn't murder Waku-san. Or Emi-chan. Why won't you listen to me? I told you time and time again I didn't kill anyone! Why won't people just believe me?
I believed you from the start. It's okay.
The prosecution had more than enough evidence to convict you for Emmy's murder. It was an open and shut case. There was nothing we could do.
Of course not. How am I gonna win when my own lawyer doesn't believe I'm innocent? Don't think I couldn't tell.
Reopen the case.
Every time you went up there and tried to clear my name, you looked like you were gonna puke.
So, Okubo-san, you really didn't do it either time?
That's what I've been saying all along.
Boop.
My name is Hoshino from the Genda Law Office. If you don't mind, we have a theory about the ADDC incident you were on trial for.
I do mind. It doesn't have anything to do with me.
But don't you want to know who really killed Waku-san?
It was an ADDC researcher by the name of Yoji Shono.
I remember him. But you're saying he did it? Why, though?
Here, let me explain. Waku-san's death was an 89-related accident. That's our theory, at least. The drug must have killed him on the spot. Shono panicked, searching for a place to hide the body.
Which led him to my truck, huh?
Yeah. It must have been the only option he could think of. Things may have turned out differently had you actually reported finding Waku-san's body. But as we both know, that's not what happened.
Maybe the police would have actually suspected Shono instead.
So all this was because I buried the body?
Well,
It was a better stroke of luck than Shono could have ever asked for. After all, the cops never even suspected him.
God damn it! I don't know what the hell I was thinking back then.
why are you
It happened
panicked?
so fast. I opened the truck, and the body was there. Naturally, I panicked. The police never would have believed I didn't kill the guy. Of course not. Why would they? I already had a criminal record, too. I was a fool.
Aw.
Okubo. So you really were innocent after all, huh?
Do you even need to ask?
And he's on death row.
I guess not.
That's why I think the death penalty is like
Thank you.
the stupidest thing ever in any country.
Yagami-san?
Yagami-sensei! What about Emmy? Aren't you gonna ask me about her? I told you before I never would have killed her!
I want to believe you. I really do. But I already did everything I could. I searched non-stop for some kind of hint. But a guy can only spend so long poring over burnt scraps of evidence. After 3 years, I'm not holding out much hope.
So... guess the real killer is still out there. Just biding his time, waiting for my execution. How are you and I gonna face Emmy in the afterlife? Come on, man! Tell me how!
I didn't call your name, honey. That's the no. You can't smush your face against my
Yagami-san.
microphone.
What's up?
I think I'm gonna head back to Genda's. What are you up to tonight?
Not sure
Honey,
yet.
you
I
can't do
think maybe I'll
that.
swing by Tender. I could use a
Hey.
drink.
Please.
Yagami-san.
I'll be all right. Later, Hoshino-kun.
We're being such a fluffy cutie pie. Yes, we're being the fluffiest cutie pie ever. Yes. Boop. So. Had to tender. Oh, I definitely need a drink after this. Damn. Okay, but I think Yagami is slowly thinking that Okubo isn't at fault here. Damn. Oopsie. Oopsie daisies.